Well, howdy. Well, like Ian McCollum, I too have a love for French firearms. This is a Moss 49/56. It was their main battle rifle for many, many, many years. And this one it was a Century Arms import and has been converted from 7.5 French to 308 or 7.62 NATO. Basically, what you do is you remount the chamber and make it so a 308 will fit in it. It's a really simple conversion process. But there's one thing that you really need to do, and that's change the firing pin out on these. And the reason is that the French, when they developed this rifle, their original Berdan primed cases had extremely stout primers on them, meaning that the firing pin had to slam hard into them to set them off. Well, modern commercial primers, boxer primers, are much lighter than the old original French Berdans, and that slamming action can really cause some issues. Now, I was going to show you some other things too. Besides the rifle, I have these. These are standard things that the squad would be handed. This is a typical ammo pouch, and I have two of these. And basically what they do is you can carry this on your belt and reach in and have another 10 rounds available for as you need it, or 20. Or in my case, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I've got 7 magazines in 2 of these pouches. This is an armorer's kit. And it's very important because it includes, among other things, no, not that one, that's a broken case extraction tool and a screwdriver. And this is spare firing pins. This has springs in it. The problem is that's for a field expedient repair. Well, I wrote off to a company in Texas that gives a different firing pin for this thing. I kept the originals in this, but I had the firing pin replaced because, and there's a gunsmith in Texas who sells them. The firing pin in a 49/56 is inertial. It just slides back and forth, back and forth. But if you put a spring on it, it's not quite as heavy when it hits. And the problem with the 49/56, especially if converted to 7.62 NATO, is they're known for double firing, meaning you pull the trigger once and it shoots twice. And that's because of that the heavy firing pin and the light primers. And this is also a unique thing. I don't know if you noticed, but the rifle has this on the front. This is a grenade launcher. I don't have any grenades, of course, but it does have a grenade launcher. ATF would love that, I'm sure. They want to, they would love to class this as I don't know, some kind of naughty weapon. But this is the sighting system for the grenade launcher. This is I got this surplus because, well, it was an accessory for the rifle, and I wanted all the accessories, so I got it. This, by the way, is a semi-auto. They did not make these in full auto. Even the U.S. Army learned that a full-size battle rifle in full auto is a really bad idea. The M14 is a great example of that. Any standard GI who shot that will tell you that it has a tendency to just climb and is just brutal to control. Well, this one's even worse. You'll notice that they provide a butt pad on the thing. And this is standard for the 49/56. This is not something I added. This came with it, and and it's good because I'm a rather large person. But the 49/56 is a rather clunky looking rifle. It's basically it's based on the original Moss 36. I have a Moss 36 here. Let me show it. Hold on a second. This is a Moss 36. The Moss 36 was the original. It's a bolt action one. They were working on that Moss, well, what became the 49/56 when Germany invaded in the 1930s, 30s, 40s, at the beginning of World War II. But all of those guys on the Maginot Line, this was the rifle that they used. This was supposed to be a substitute standard for behind the front lines troops. They wanted a full auto, or excuse me, a semi-auto rifle for the frontline troops, and something like this for the the clerks, the cooks, the drivers, the artillery guys, all of those. Well, they made a whole bunch of these preparatory to making these, well, the original of these, and they never got around to making these because, well, the Germans invaded. And they basically went hush-hush on the plans for this thing and disguised all of the tooling that they had so that because the stocks on the two look very similar. So it looks like somebody was screwed up when they were making a stock for a MOS 36. So none of the armories actually revealed to the Germans what they'd been working on. Anyway, if you want to know more about this, I would strongly suggest in McCollum's book, Chapeau, Chassepot, or however you say it, to FAMAS. It's a book about military rifles in France from the beginnings of the very first breech loaders until, well, actually it goes before the breech loaders to the FAMAS, which was their latest rifle, or most recent bullpup rifle. But there's a good section on this 4956 and a good section on the MOS 36. Highly recommended reading.